Hello,
Well,
hello, all.
hello all. Name 'em.
Name 'em.
We are,
Well,
well, we stuck our feet in the mud and dug our heels in and just couldn't resist.
look. The thing about this podcast is we're always going to do whatever the we want to do.
Mhm.
And no one certainly will be telling me anything. But I did interact with quite a few people in the past week who were loved ones, cherished friends, gorgeous, beautiful friends who were like,
What are you doing?
did you watch? No, not what are you doing, but just did you watch?
Oh, I got that.
Oh, really?
I had a mutual friend who we both love say, What the
Really?
And
Who?
like Alan. She's like, can you watch, please? And like with total
Everett, no one has confronted me.
with total love.
No one has confronted me with love and light. I pray that someone intervenes.
She intervened on us.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she said, she goes, if you're not gonna recap it, can you at least watch so we can talk about it?
That's a fair question. And that's what I realized too, because I was at a holiday dinner party
Ooh.
and was cornered by some delightful gay friends of mine who were like, what do you think of the recent episode? Like, blah, 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 the dinner. And I was like, I haven't watched in like 3 weeks.
Oh.
And then I realized, like,
It's alienating.
yeah.
We are backing ourselves into a corner. We're causing a rift.
There were meltdowns on Patreon.
We're causing alienation with our dear listeners, our dear patrons.
The dearest patrons stuck around, and actually the Patreon's doing better than ever. So like it
Yeah.
really is good for business.
Some
I
people,
think
though,
to pull away. It's good to pull away a little bit and then makes people want you more.
We said goodbye.
Hello. But I think that ultimately, if an episode's good, we can talk about it or we cannot. I don't know. I don't want to be beholden to a show that, quite frankly, didn't really get good this season until the dinner party.
Look, I stick with our hunch that we felt like this season was not giving.
No.
And I will admit when I'm wrong. The last 2 episodes were giving.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry. I've been watching the show since 2010. I've earned my right to disengage.
I love nothing more than disengaging with a Bravo show when I feel like it's not speaking to me anymore. And the problem about doing a podcast that's like tied to these shows is that sometimes I feel like I have to say something even when I have nothing to say and my muse is not inspiring me and I want to get a different muse. But then every single time, and this is only the second time that I've like pulled out of recapping something. I did it in season 9 of Vanderpump Rules because it was truly the most flop that show's ever been. And this is the same thing. When I pull out, when I reach my breaking point and I say enough and I set a boundary, the show gets good again.
I mean, we look at
like,
season
what's
10.
that about? That's about my power, honestly.
I just saw a video of a girl filming herself doing like energetic swirls and a storm came and she was convinced that she manifested the storm. And I was like, I love that for you. It's mild schizophrenia, but I'm obsessed with you. So like, I think you can manifest things.
I honestly I feel like my relationship is like I have to be pushed to a breaking point where I say I've had enough and you will not be holding me hostage anymore, and then the show like gets good.
I mean, look what happened in season 10 of VPR.
I know. And the end of season 9, like the last 2 episodes, like the reunion slapped, but like that was one of the worst. And those moments really send me through a spiral. When the shows that we're talking about or that I'm talking about, if I do it with other people on this podcast, get bad, I literally go into like a depressive, what am I doing with my life? I'm a huge failure. Everything like nothing's working out. Like everything is bad.
Bravo shouldn't be that deep.
I know. And that's why I have to say hello, goodbye.
I feel like this is alive. Yeah, I mean, we did that with Tampa Bay's, but that was okay.
No, but Tampa Bay's, we still like came in and we just put 2 in 1 in the last episode.
I mean, we did get cuppy from that, but otherwise it was a fucking
I know, but that
flop.
wasn't a give. Like, I feature a total give up and walk away, and I have no problem with that.
No, basically the moral is we want to feel like we can do whatever we want while also knowing that we can.
No, we can. I can and I will do whatever I want on my podcast that I'm the boss of.
But we heard your calls. We heard your calls for action, and we admit that these 2 episodes were serving.
Yeah.
Majorly.
And so we had no choice but to come out of retirement.
3 weeks.
Get back in the
3 weeks
game.
after retiring from Beverly Hills Angels, we're
Honestly,
back in it.
Sometimes you retire early and it just doesn't sit right, and you're just kind of old and you don't know what's going on, and then you say, guess what, I'm gonna get back in the game.
Should we get into it?
Sure.
Or did you want to talk about something?
I don't care.
I need to make my formal request that everyone watch Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
On Netflix. Incredible.
I saw on socials that you took to socials to spread the word.
I do. I'm like...
You've really become the town crier of spreading the word about cinema on social media, and I love that.
I only like to talk about things that in a positive way. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, on like, in terms of like socials. Movies or like on, like I've just like reached a point where I'm like, why am I going to be like, unless it's like Bravo. But like, I'm just going to praise the out of your movie if I see it and I like it.
I love that.
And I genuinely felt called to action as the people were with us. I felt called to spread the word about Julia Roberts and Mahershala Ali thwarting the apocalypse in an en masse situation.
Work. It had it all.
It had Ethan Hawke. It had Mahala. It had Kevin Bacon.
All right. I mean, I'm intrigued. I'll check it out.
You're going to like it.
Okay.
It serves. But I've just been like last week I've done 2 movie recs on my Instagram.
Yeah, you've become a regular Roger Ebert. But everything is 5 stars.
It is. I'm the great
But sometimes
defender.
I don't trust you because I feel like you watch TV that is a true question mark.
If I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to praise a movie, it's
good. Okay.
Yeah.
I trust that.
I wouldn't go on and be like, I watched Wrath Strain on Prime Video that was made in 2017 and has the guy from Rocky, the blonde German man.
Wait, what did I think you watched recently? You were telling me about a movie and I thought that you watched a movie with like you were telling me about some random movie you watched and describing who was in it, and I thought you said that Adrian Grenier was in it.
Oh, Adrian Brody.
And you were like, because I was like, here he goes again, watching some random movie, like firing up the TV and just choosing a random movie.
It was this movie Mangrove or something.
Yeah, and you were telling me about it, and I was like, here we go.
Adrian Grenier.
And he goes, Adrian Brody. In my mind, I was like, he's literally sitting out here forcing his husband to watch like an Adrian Grenier movie in their apartment. Like,
Poor
someone
Simon.
save this man.
Yeah.
We need to like extract him. And I was hearing you talk about it, and you were like, yeah, and it was just like, it was bad. Like, I didn't really like it. I wanted to turn it off. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, like an Adrian Grenier joint is made to turn off.
Yeah.
And then you were like, Adrian Brody, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, to be fair though, Adrian Brody's been in some real stinkers since he won his Oscar.
He really is that who won the Oscar and then just took a nosedive.
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor who just can't get it together.
And he's so hot.
He's one of the hottest men out there right now.
I really don't understand what's going on with him.
He was just so
post-Oscar.
perfect in The Pianist, and I think it was like the role of his life. And then, I mean, he's on Succession.
Yeah, he was good in that.
So he's chic. I think he'll have like a moment again. But yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. And Jesse Eisenberg was in it. And I just...
The cast seemed good.
I love her. Is that how you say her name? Odessa or Odaya?
I don't know who that is.
You've seen her.
It sounds
she was in
prestige.
Assassination Nation.
You know, I haven't seen that, and I really would like it. I'll bet.
Wait, want to know something crazy? I read this crazy conspiracy thread on X, formerly known as Twitter. And it was basically this like QAnon type person saying that Euphoria was a psyop to introduce all the Gen Z stars of our time right now. Because if you think about it, Sydney, Jacob, Zendaya, Hunter, and it was like basically a psyop to like sell sex to like he had this person had this whole cockamamie idea, and then the idol was the Illuminati telling Sam Levinson to stop and to humiliate him, and to like he said like, you've done your task, now go away. So you'll do the idol and humiliate yourself. That's
an incredible take. And also,
it was one of the most bonkers thing. I mean, it is crazy that Euphoria, like all the biggest...
It's a 5150
It's a total 5150, but I was obsessed with the Euphoria to government psyop pipeline.
I know. It's like, no, Euphoria, everything is just so that when one thing is good, everyone in that one good thing benefits.
Yeah.
Like, if the world had 7 amazing Euphoria ass shows, then there would be way more sexy actors. But the fact of the matter is that
all we have is Jacob Elordi.
Most people, and
say it.
My hot take is he really that good of an actor? He's just so
unbelievably hot
that you can't like.
And he's tall. He's
I know.
6'5". Like he's Australian.
Like I'll accept him, but I'm just saying.
You know what? He could grow into like he could develop as an actor.
He's all we have.
I do see him like having like a shockingly good performance in his like 30s. Do you know what I mean?
I think he has some like. I think he has what it takes to have a shockingly good performance
in some way. Maybe. Is he a star? I don't know.
I don't know. He's just so hot.
Like Zendaya is a star.
Yeah.
Hunter Schafer's a star, I think.
Agree.
Sydney is a star.
Sydney is...
She's something.
Really a great dramatic actress.
Reality. Do you see it?
No. Did you see it?
Good movie.
Was it good? Was she good in it?
Really good. Very tense.
I haven't seen it, but I'm intrigued. It's on my list. As a woman,
you'll love it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very about like women
say.
Being gaslit by men.
Okay, man.
Standing, looking down at them.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
But comedy. I mean, that movie. What is it? Anyone But You. That is a psyop of some sort. I don't know what the.
We use the word psyop a lot in this pod, and just in general, I think everyone throws that word around too much. But there are psyops, and this is one. This is like how
that movie is up to no
Something's
good.
Going on.
Something is deeply going on, and I don't trust it for a second.
Was it like a write-off or some like shady thing?
I've seen that trailer now because I've been going to the movies because right now is like the only time of year that anything good is out. And so I've been subjected to the Anyone But You trailer.
I haven't seen the new one.
I've seen it like 6 times.
I saw the weird like dailies.
It is truly so bad. I've never seen two people with less chemistry in my life. The plot point is like, it's such a thin premise that actually makes no sense and would never have has no basis in real life. Like, no, it's like, they're both in Australia for her sister's wedding, and somehow his ex is at the wedding, and then her parents brought her ex to the wedding to try and get her to like be with him. And so both of them decide to like fake being with each other to like make her parents back off and make his ex jealous.
We need to move away from, I think in general, we need to move away from like, let's pretend to be dating.
Yeah.
I think that's never happened in life. And I don't think.
No.
Like maybe like momentarily to like thwart being date raped. But like, right?
Yeah, but never
like a full blown.
And then it's like the set pieces. What is this? Okay. I really have a bone to pick with this, and I need to like send this to like a wider scale and truly like take Hollywood to task for these types of things.
Girl.
I'm sounding the alarm. So they have this scene, and this is something that I've seen in multiple movies, that most recently the Lost City of Z or whatever with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
Talk about me seeing bad movies.
One of the most horrible,
Radcliffe in it.
Truly a scourge on the industry at large. Shocking that it made money. Like, people were desperate and had like COVID brain, and that's why that movie did well, is the only reason I'm truly convinced of. But that movie and this movie, Anyone But You, have these scenes in them where like bugs are on someone's butt, like. And this is a thing I'm noticing now, where like rom-coms include some sort of like bug ass thing, where it's like they're like on a hike or whatever, and he's like, permission to touch your ass, and like she's like, sure, and then she puts her hand like in his shorts, and she's like, you have something in here, and like pulls out a spider, and it's like. In that Sandra Bullock movie, it was like they went into a river and then they came out, and Channing Tatum had like CGI leeches on his butt, and she had to pick them off. But I'm like, What's with the butt thing? We don't need that. Did anyone ever think to be like, we don't really need that? Like, that's not that funny. Like, no one is laughing at that.
No.
Who is laughing at? Who's being like, oh my
mother God.
Who is like, do studio executives literally read it and like mother God laugh to each other and get on the phone and say, this is the best?
They get on the horn.
Believe
they get on
scene.
The horn. Yes,
they get on the horn, and they love.
They live, laugh, love.
But why? We don't need this. We don't need bugs on the butt in a rom-com. We just don't. I'm here to like. Just if anyone was questioning, I feel like a lot of people are questioning, and maybe many writers are struggling with this, where someone told them like, we really need a scene. We really, really need a scene where maybe he reaches in his pants and there's a bug.
This is not the writer. The writer problem. This is
not a writer problem.
This is not a writer. They're writing good, I think, and then they're getting told, why don't you put a bug on the butt?
Okay, I think honestly the writers should go back on strike with just the one side. I don't want that to happen, but I really think they should consider going back on strike and saying, we're not going to do any more bugs on the butt scene. And until all the studio executives agree, then the strike will be over. They go, I don't know. I think we really need them. That strike lasts for like months.
I don't know.
They go, I don't know. The bugs, they play well. People love the bugs on the butt. What's up with that?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, sis. That's what they say. Some bro said that. If it ain't broke, sis.
I don't know. So I read many, many scripts. I read 100 scripts a week, and I'm thinking that most of them could use a bugs on the butt. I think they could really benefit from a set piece where someone finds a bug on a man's butt. That is what they're like. They want to get a man in a situation
butt because it's like kind of gay, and it's like kind of like, ooh, it's a guy. You know what I mean? It's like a straight guy showing his butt.
It's like I feel like it's like ladies will love this.
Ladies will love to see a butt with a bug on it, but then you put a bug on it, and it's comedy. They say, show me that hole.
I just really, really don't understand this trend.
I also just need, before we get into the actual recap, I just need to like put this out there.
What?
This is somewhat related, but not related at all.
Okay.
I have spent a year trying to get through the first 6 episodes of the morning show, season 1. It's been a full year, and I haven't finished 6 episodes.
I get that.
I'm literally just finished where they go and there's fires.
You need to go to like AA, but for morning show addicts who are like, it's okay. It's okay to let go.
It has the most Critics' Choice nominees or something.
They're like paying for that.
No, but I'm like, this show is the biggest show of all time in some ways. And I'm trying really hard. I just like, I want to be part of it. The movement. just so I can know what
you need. Like to go. You need to take up a hobby. You need to. You need to like find community elsewhere.
I have found community, but I'm still like.
You don't. This is the thing. This is what I'm saying.
I'm nurturing something that was just not. It's not gonna happen for me. I'm not gonna watch the morning show
with love and light.
But I'm
just
trying.
Release it. You don't need to try.
But I'm trying so hard to just like get through the first season. I'm not even kidding you.
Do you think that it's gonna get better for you?
No, I think it's gonna get progressively worse. I know it is. This is my alcoholic.
This is addiction.
This is addiction.
This is the darkest side of addiction.
This is my shadow.
Seen.
But it's like I know I'm not going to be fulfilled by this. I'm not.
What are you waiting for to happen?
Nothing.
But like, what are you waiting?
I'm waiting for it to become comfort. I'm waiting for it to become a show that I can just turn on and like disassociate to. Which everyone needs a show that they do that with. I'm sorry.
Totally.
I'm
But
waiting.
That's what the Kardashians is for.
I know. It's not going to happen with the morning show, and it's fine. I'm like, God damn it. I'm like sitting there. Like
it has too many of like you know what it is? It's like the Jen Aniston of it all. I think it's like you root for Jen and you root for Reese and you want them to give you what you need. But like you need to realize that you're a strong, independent gay man who doesn't have to watch. You don't need to watch the morning show.
It's very ladies. Am I right? And I'm certainly sitting there going, yes. I'm sitting there going like, ooh, like when
I
Reese
love
Witherspoon,
you trying to like really get into like Bradley
James getting in an alleyway behind a pub in New York. I'm like, ooh. Yes.
Okay, that sounds kind of good.
That was good.
Was she at the insurrection?
I think it's coming. They're on everything.
You're just trying to get up to the insurrection.
I want to see the insurrection. I want to see, but also I know what's coming is COVID, and I can't deal with that.
They talk about COVID on the morning.
Oh, it's a huge. They take plot lines from our.
This is why you need to get away. We don't need you going back into COVID via the morning show.
I certainly am.
Like I as your co-host, I'm begging you to stop watching.
I've moved away from COVID.
You're on the edge.
I'm on the brink.
You are on the brim.
But I'm like, the show. It's like. Here's the thing with the show, why it's so confounding. It's like it should serve cunt.
Oh, absolutely.
And there are moments where like I can tell that like
it wanted to.
And I'm just like simply not gagged. It's a gagless show. And
sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes I'm like, gag me. Like when I see like Karen Pittman walking out, who I love, that was in Yellowstone.
You just have to learn to get gagged elsewhere.
I go. To Billy Crudup.
Karen Pittman, aka Miss Nia Wallace from.
Yes, she's the hardest.
She's the hardest working actress out there.
But I'm like, she serves, but then also she doesn't in this. No one, and it's like, what is going on? Give them gags, let them gag, and they won't. Billy Crudup comes out being like a little cunt.
You're not gonna get it. You have to learn to look elsewhere.
Martin Short's in it. Like everyone's in this show. Juliana Margulies plays a lesbian, as we now know.
I think you just have to, with love and light, look elsewhere.
All right. Well, now I'm looking at this show.
I know.
And that's this.
There are more. I recently had to do this with Murder at the End of the World, where I said, I said, with love and light, you really tried. And with love and light, it's now time for me to take back my life and step away. And sometimes you have to just do that. Sometimes you have to do that.
I'm still in Murder at the End of the World.
Yeah. I understand what it wants to be doing.
I like that it's cozy.
It's really heeg.
It's heeg.
I love Emma Corrin.
Love them.
I'm not gagged by it.
I just love Harrison.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It is a we'll see. Well, some of us will see. Some of us will bow out.
Sir, I bid you adieu. At least we still have The Crown.
I don't watch that either. That was when I was like trying. It's
Elizabeth Debicki though. You got to watch her.
It's for another time in my life. I'll get to my Crown era. That era is simply not now.
Don't you want to see Kate Middleton make her debut in The Crown?
Walking on the runway, her revenge show. I love it's so that they're like, and Kate Middleton, and we're gonna feature her when she was her least stylish and like most desperate, and then it's goodbye. The show is over.
I know.
That's a serve. But we're not here to talk about those shows.
No, we're not. I'm Carey.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to
Sexy Unique Podcast.
Beverly Hills Kate Middleton. Kyle is hosting. So we're in the prior episode from the week before last.
So like we're going to play a little catch up, but then we're going to get to the most recent episode. So Sutton's been coming for Kyle saying that something's
off with her head.
Something's off about her. Something's up.
My theory is she's having severe gay panic over Kyle potentially being a lesbian, and she's triggered and just going to war. Because I think Sutton has low-key latent les vibes. Just going to say.
Latent life lesbian?
Latent. Like simmering just beneath. It's got some kind of repression.
I see Sutton's repression. I also see Sutton wanting to have like another divorce buddy. And
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like I feel
Join
like
the club, sis.
Yeah, and being like, this is something else we can bond over. So like let's talk divorce. But then Kyle is gonna have, if she and Mo are getting divorced,
which we now know they
are. It's just going to be in its own like weird way.
I think Sutton, it goes, I'm not saying she's gay. That was kind of a joke, but there's just something else happening with this. She's too fixated. It's a little weird. It's weird to be this fixated on someone else not drinking.
Yeah.
And I've experienced this. When you're upset that someone else has stopped drinking, you need to evaluate. It's more of
a you problem.
It's
always
a
if
full
you're
you
upset
problem.
that someone else isn't drinking, that's 100% a you problem and not a them problem.
Loop them out.
If you begrudge someone for like doing good things for their life, that's a major red flag that you're encountering a you problem.
And I think it extends to Garcelle a little.
Definitely. I think everyone who has anything to say about Kyle working out or quitting drinking is struggling with their own body issues and their own booze issues.
And I think it is because Kyle has projected this image of like having this perfect life. I do. And but I don't think that's her fault in such that like you should be like everyone is now. I think in these types of shows, which is unfortunate, when one is like doing poorly, the others kind of swarm a little. Like I think people like to see someone, especially Kyle, who's like been the OG, kind of cracking a little. Like she's had this sort of impenetrable wall, I think, and once there's a little crack, I think people enjoy seeing that. They can't help themselves. I'm not saying it's because every woman is jealous of another woman. I'm just saying it's like human schadenfreude.
Yeah.
You know? And I think Sutton is very unhappy with her life. And she's jumping at the chance. She did it a little with Erika. Like she sticks her nose a lot
in other people's business.
And I think it has something to do with like boredom, and also it's like her way of getting power is to be nosy and like have dirt.
Well, Sutton also, as much as she is like an independent woman now, she still isn't, because she's dependent on child support and alimony payments. So,
and we'll see in this episode that the dependency goes like farther beyond than I even thought it did.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's all fun and games, and I'm a big fan of divorce him and take him for everything it's worth.
100%.
Like style of being, but in situations like the one she's in, you're still under this person's thumb, and you're still having to like fight for that money, and that means you're not that independent, and like that's got to be tough to reckon with.
Dun Dun dun. Question, what do you think about me? I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own ring. Ladies, it ain't easy being independent.
Yeah. So she's
coming for Kyle's ass.
Is coming for Kyle. And Kyle is decided to have a weed dinner because she's like, everyone's so mad that I don't drink. And now I just want to like smoke some weed or like have a weed dinner. And then maybe they'll shut the up about me not drinking.
So she's still like doing edibles and stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool.
She just doesn't drink, but partakes in some THC every once in a while.
She's like, I'm feeling some major peer pressure from my friends, so I'm gonna shut them up with a THC-infused 4-course meal or whatever, 5-course meal.
And my thing with this meal is like,
it doesn't look good.
The food looked bad, and B, it's not like they're cooking with like THC-infused ingredients. They're literally just putting like THC oil on top of a already cooked dish.
I thought it was like in the butter or like in the grease, or you know what I mean? Like I didn't know it was like
it's infused and is part of the flavor profile.
They're literally doing droppers of THC. I was like,
I'm like, so I could fucking do that.
She's FaceTiming with Morgan before the show. Morgan talks like that woman who voiced Patty Mayonnaise that was in Orange is the New Black. You know that woman with that voice? She's like the yoga teacher who like hit someone with a car. She was
Patty Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's her name? Oh yeah.
She's also in The Curse, I think.
She's an incredible actress.
Wow. She's a slay. Morgan is not what I thought she would be.
No. Constance Schulman.
Wow. Morgan's like, I guess I was expecting.
Oh yeah, she plays Emma's mom in The Curse. Yeah.
I was expecting like more of a G-flip energy.
No, she's like kind of high-pitched Southern girl.
And she's very vulnerable, so it seems.
My friend of the pod, Joan Summers, who hosts Eating for Free, who's so funny. She sent me lyrics from one of her songs that was like, us at the chateau, no one can see us together because you're married and you're on a show and I'm snorting pills off your body. You know what I mean? And like, she's clearly talking about
Ms. Richards,
it seems.
Wow.
But yeah, she's sweet and like kind of shy almost.
I know, she's much shyer than I thought.
Kyle's actually more dom than she is.
Well, Kyle's also older than her.
No, I know, but I thought Kyle would be sort of the like.
Did you watch the episode where they like got tattoos together? Kyle is simply a giddy schoolgirl around her new love.
They're in love.
They have to be, right?
Something's up. I mean, it's like if it's not like if they're not together, it's like a.
It's a fierce, fabulous friendship.
It's a little fried green tomatoes. If it's not full out Les.
It's something.
But there's something there. It's undeniable. And I think
you're talking before a show. You're FaceTiming before like a show.
Yeah, she's like, good luck with your show.
That's like you call Simon before a show.
Yeah. And like it's and now Kathy got a tattoo with them.
She did?
She had them over to her house and they all got tattoos together.
What were their tattoos?
I forgot, but Kathy is like all about Morgan and Kyle.
Kathy tattoos the F slur on her.
But I think Kyle and Kim Kathy and Kim love Morgan.
Okay, I love this twist.
And I can't
But Morgan could be the person that brings them all together.
Well, no, they're friends again, Kyle and...
I need more info.
I do believe Mo was a very divisive force, low key. I think he did not help with the Kyle estrangement.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be because they're jealous. I don't know what the deal is. Like they were just like, but there is something shady. I think they maybe didn't like Mo for Kyle.
I just love the new Kyle. I love seeing her be healthy. Like I'm really inspired by Kyle Richards. I'm going to say that.
She's also not on Ozempic.
No, I think that she's just running everywhere.
No, I know. That's what I'm like. Everyone like very like came for her so much about it. And it's like people can't accept that when you don't drink, you lose weight.
People can't accept that if you
exercise,
strength train to the point of like if you do strength training and you exist on a high protein caloric deficit, you lose weight and you get shredded. And that's just math.
You don't drink.
That's bodily math.
We've all had
and honestly, and I get it. I've also been there where I'm like, that's the most assured way. Like, and if you're doing those things and not losing weight, then you have like a hormonal issue and you can take care of that and then you will lose weight. But like, that is just like scientifically, people are really lazy. And people, again, this is a huge thing. When you're really mad at someone for losing weight, you're actually mad at yourself. Period.
Faye Resnick.
I love her.
The queen arrives. Dinner party from hell. Pot trois.
We all need a friend like Faye Resnick.
Faye just interjecting during this dinner. That's a little weird. I think that's weird. Faye coming in defending her lesbian bestie. A friend who like is not necessarily going to fight tooth and nail to be on the show that you're on, but like comes around and like is a supportive queen, and then offline you're also like best friends, is the best case scenario. Faye in theory is like the ultimate Real Housewife. But she's
so much of a Real Housewife that she isn't a Real Housewife. Which is the true sign of a true Real Housewife.
Never forget, ooh, is this what you do? And then Annemarie Wiley enters, who's the newest lady with a diamond.
Kyle's neighbor.
Married to a former NFL, Marcellus Wiley.
They had a big old house party or like a neighborhood gathering, and then Kyle met Annemarie and they became fast friends. And I love her. Her energy's great.
I like her. She's an anesthesiologist or nurse anesthetist.
She's just putting people down.
She's really smart, really driven. She works out 7 times a week. She's just like rich and fabulous.
She's 5'9" and 160 pounds of just raw muscle.
She's jacked as and she likes to win, and I'm into her.
Me too.
Cynthia Bailey comes, one of the most beautiful women ever.
That was a really like.
Why didn't they like?
They said Sutton's friend Cynthia.
I was offended by that.
Me too.
I was like, excuse me.
Because then I started to feel gaslit, and I was like, that is Cynthia Bailey, right?
Yes!
And then I was like, maybe it wasn't.
Why didn't they say like?
I left the dinner being like, oh, that was just her friend.
No,
Cynthia.
that was Cynthia Bailey. She's like an undeniable.
And I had watched like the Ultimate Girls.
No, I know she's incredible, and I know she's close with Kyle too.
It was just a weird way to like get her in the mix. I've also met
her, and she's like beyond stunning in person.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Supermodel. Yeah, so she comes with Sutton. Sutton's on she's punched in. PI.
Mm-hmm. Sutton put her little mirror jacket on and said, I'm marching myself down to this dinner.
Come on, Cynthia.
Come on, my friend Cynthia Bailey. Denise and Camille show up together, which I was like, double toilet trouble.
I know. Camille always has to be at a dinner party from hell. Remember Camille's just
so demure and just like such a demure little kitty cat.
She's also like a terrible person.
I love her. She's like the kind of chaos that
she's Chouse.
I'll always like respect and appreciate. Like, and she's just so like, I mean, she's such a little slinky vixen.
Never forget her coming in penultimate episode of one of the seasons, saving the whole season by starting a fight for no reason, and then brought so much drama in for the following season. Do you remember that when they were at that weird restaurant in the Beverly Center, and she just like tore at the dinner table, and like either the finale episode or the second to last episode, and the entire season changed in like one episode.
Yeah, she's a must have at any event.
They come out of the car and Denise goes, should we go in and out?
Should we get...
Denise is toasted.
Hammered.
She's tequila drunk. Everyone says that she's on drugs in this episode, and Brandy Glanville tweeted something that was actually a good point, and she was like, she goes, she said, I don't think, like, we all know Denise, or like anyone who knows Denise knows she doesn't do drugs. She's just like tequila drunk. But she said go drugs instead of do drugs. She tried.
Brandy is I feel like every time Denise Richards pops up on Brandy's screen, Brandy's literally like, horned up. And she's like in a tweet, like her tastes like Pepsi Cola.
Mm-hmm. Crystal doesn't like Annemarie.
I like that. I like when people just don't like people.
She goes, Annemarie talks a lot and asks a lot of questions. That is nosy.
Well, maybe you need to answer some questions and earn your keep in the show, because you're really... You are not earning the paycheck this season.
You see Annemarie stepping in and you know
that you're on the chopping block, and rightly so.
I had to say Alison Dubois was right.
She was 100% correct.
The kids get bigger, you'll have nothing left in common.
I got chills at that flashback because I was like, this always knew. And Kyle knew too.
She knew.
Kyle's always known deep down in her little lesbian bones that it was not gonna pan out.
Kim always hated Maurice.
She did.
She always, Maurice. I think she didn't like Mauricio because
they stole her goddamn house.
Well, yeah, they stole the goddamn house, but maybe I'm giving her too much credit, probably as a good sister, but maybe she also knew that he was like treating her sister poorly. But who knows? I don't think Kim. I just don't
TBD what she knew and didn't know.
I don't think she was.
But she knew that she didn't like Maurice.
Denise sounds like a drunk, like barfly, and like she's
reminding me of my first stepmom a lot.
Angie,
yeah.
Oh, should we bleep that?
No, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Is that how she sounded?
Well, yeah. I mean, a drunk a drunk pretty lady is. It always sounds the same.
I thought Denise slayed, and I want her more. She needs to be back.
Denise
on the show.
In a full pink look and a leather dress. She also looks like someone like tried to kill her by smothering her with a pillow before plying her with alcohol and throwing her in an Escalade and saying, "Off to Encino you go." Her hair is so mussed up.
She came in and Garcelle goes, "Oh," and then she goes, "What's so?"
What's so about?
What's so? I don't do weed.
Garcelle's O's are on fire this episode. This whole dinner.
Oh. She's like, just do that. And she serves in one O more than like Crystal served.
Crystal, take notes.
Take notes.
All you have to do is go, oh.
All these women should take a note.
Yeah.
Oh.
Garcelle's a great lesson in doing the least, but doing it well enough that it seems like more of an effort.
What's so?
What's the O about? She goes, this is a weed dinner? She goes, I don't want to smoke weed. I've smoked weed twice in my life. I won't tell you with who. I was like, not the wink.
Who, Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I think she probably was privy to more than just weed being smoked.
Maybe tried a few things once. There's no harm in that. Seeing what you like and what you don't like. But like, I like a woman that just knows she likes to drink tequila.
Yeah, she's a good woman. She's a good old lady from Illinois.
She's a good old fashioned
young Denise.
Just a good old fashioned tequila drunk.
I will say, even in her like blown to smithereens brain, she had moments in this episode where I was like, that's Denise Richards. When she went, let me be very clear, raising one eyebrow, I was like, ooh.
Sutton before dinner takes Kyle aside.
She explains why she's been off.
Yeah.
Because Kyle's like, you were off your rocker when you named him, when you played the name him game.
And I don't know what that's about. And Sutton's like, well, I got information from my husband that he's moving to London. Ex-husband that he is moving to London. And then he said that maybe my son will go with him. And then I thought, will my son go with him? And I realized my son will not go with him. But that means I'm going to need more child support. And then Kyle's reaction is incredible. She's like, so you're sad because you're going to get more money? And she's like, which is such like a Kyle, because Kyle would know like why she's mad. But I love putting it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's an extra little twist the knife. And Sutton's like, well, no, that means I now have to go to court and deal with him. So I'm blah, blah, blah. I mean, I believe.
Sutton believes this is very hard.
Well, I believe it is hard for her. I believe if she had, I think that not a lot of people speak on this element, and I would love to see more of this spoken about on Housewives, but like an acrimonious divorce
is hell.
Can get so abusive in legal proceedings and like putting someone through like legal hell and just like wrapping them up in every detail. And I do believe that's like a form of abuse.
It is.
And
but it's legitimized abuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's like people wouldn't think of it like that off the top of their heads.
It's not right to be, but it gets legitimized by like legality,
or it just is like part and parcel.
It's fucked up. I mean, look at
Bethany. Like a divorce, but like that is really traumatic for people, and I believe that Sutton is deeply affected by having to like go through this process with someone that you don't want to go through.
Her husband demanded that she move to London. That's the thing that was so, and Kyle goes, just tell him to off.
Yeah.
So she's saying like my ex-husband still like owns my life. And
which I'm like,
that's traumatic, but I think that's not what's going on here.
No, I mean, I don't think that that's why
she named him.
But maybe she is like, can't compartmentalize, so then that stuff becomes her freaking out about like Erika Jane popping her pussy in the Magic Mike show floor.
She goes, my husband has a bigger team than I am. He's powerful globally. She goes, and I'm not just talking selling houses. I was like, damn. And meanwhile, back Denise it starts babbling away at the dinner table, and she says something to Erika, and she goes, you know what I'm talking about.
Wasn't this after they all sat down?
Yeah, they're all sit back at the dinner table.
Oh, well, so Sutton and Kyle argue, and then everyone's getting seated and like waiting for them to come, and then Camille sits down, and she's like, oh, Faye is seated right across from me. And then Faye gets up, goes to like the organizer of the dinner seating chart, and she was like, I don't want anything to do with that woman, and I'm not sitting down there. So they put her at the other end of the table, which I just loved.
If you were called the morally corrupt.
Yeah, and I just love like an old Beverly Hills
13-year-old grudge.
Like Beverly Hills grudges of like, I don't want anything to do with that woman.
Incredible.
Yeah. So everyone's waiting. Crystal goes to like interject. The producers are like, you need to say one word or else you're going to be let go literally tomorrow. Like your name will not appear on the call sheet anymore. So Crystal's like, okay, fine. I'll like go talk to Sutton and Kyle. So she goes in to like intervene on their little argument, and then Kyle's flustered and walks away, and then Sutton goes and sits down at the table, and everyone's like, where is our host? Like, what's going on? Where's our hostess? And Sutton goes, probably in denial about something. And I was like,
This is where I was like, gay panic.
Oh, I just thought it was like divorce denial.
There's something going on. I'm not like, she's a little too fixed. I think the undercurrent here is that Kyle's Morgan. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I think it's that Kyle is planning on Kyle is having marital problems. She's getting a separation. She's also Morgan. Like, I think in the press, all of these things are being said, and then Kyle is just kind of lightly alluding to it. So it seems like producers are probably being like, someone needs to say something to Kyle, and you're kind of like the closest person that would really do that. Like Dorit has like soft shoot it with her, but they're like, okay, Sutton and Kyle are having like coming head to head. So like Sutton needs to say something, but Sutton can't actually just say what's going on. I see that you're out not wearing your wedding ring. Are you getting divorced, or are you like getting separated, and are you with this other woman? And so instead, it just was like, what's really going on? You're wearing a ring that I don't recognize. What's that about? Like, and no one will actually just be very clear about what the problem is.
Yeah, then Kyle, like, all this goes down. Like, the ring gets brought up, and then Kyle's like, my ring is at the bank, like in a vault.
That was chic.
It was really chic. And then Garcelle goes, I just assumed he was a makeup band. And they're like, what's a makeup band? She goes, I got one. My husband gave me one. It's to make up for when he cheated on me. And
then Camille goes, I got cars. I got a car every time.
God love her.
She goes, yeah, he did something, and then I got an Aston Martin. I was like, ah.
And then Garcelle goes, is that what Mauricio did for you? And then Erika goes, whoa, let's not do that. And then Faye goes, that's weird. This is all getting weird.
And Kyle goes, I don't ask you guys where you got your jewelry. Like, oh, Garcelle, where'd you get your necklace? And Garcelle goes, Zara.
Loved. And Erika goes, oh, hell, I didn't wear my ring for years.
EJ.
Miss Georgia.
I love EJ Global weighing in. Everyone knows what was going on with you and your bat husband.
Out of nowhere, Denise goes, what's going on?
How many margaritas did Denise have before this? Like
Casamigos
5?
on the rocks.
Yeah.
Kyle basically is like, Sutton, you want to know why I'm not drinking? She goes, because when I drink, I get hungover in the morning and I feel very depressed and low about myself. And I can't afford to be depressed right now with everything going on in my life.
But this is the thing that I'm like, Kyle, just say what's going on in your life to shut everyone up. Like if she was just like, we're going through a hard time. But
she's not used to this because she's the queen bee, and she's been like this kind of. There's been a wall up, I think, with Kyle over the last 15 years she's been on the show. Do you know what I mean? And I think she's just not used to being. I think the Kathy thing was like the beginning of the crack. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think when it comes to like with Kim, Kyle is at her most fragile when it has to do with her family or her husband, which makes sense.
It's just weird to me to like be like, you're not drinking, you're working out, like something's really wrong. It's like maybe something's kind of right for the first time ever.
It's bizarre. And then
like for Sutton to put it that way, as like bring question around those behavioral changes, that is strange. And then Kyle's like, why are you talking about me like working out? Like
I don't think. Oh, sorry.
She's like, why are you talking about me working out? Like you literally don't eat and you drink a lot.
She goes, I told you it's because my esophagus is small.
She's, what you mean I don't eat? I eat all the time. She goes, no, you push your food from one side of the plate to another. And I was like, I've seen Sutton's legs, and Kyle's, when you're right, you're right. And I love, like, this is the kind of that I live for, is like pointing this kind of thing out.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it's like a low, it's pretty, but
not that low. If you're gonna come for someone,
no, I'm saying, yeah, if you're doing it, like, don't cry when it gets brought back to you.
Because also,
she said she accused Kyle of like starving herself. So like, honey, Miss Knobby Knees.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton goes,
little chicken legs.
I told you I have something wrong with my esophagus. It's very small.
I was reading some other, like the Vulture writer who recapped this episode was talking about the small esophagus. I don't know if he does it still, but whoever it does it was talking about the small esophagus of it all.
Yeah.
And that is a real thing, having like a constriction, but that it is also a symptom of alcohol.
Really?
consumption. Yeah.
Whoa. Well,
I believe in Sutton's giving like Southern Gothic.
no, I'm
Tennessee
into it.
Williams.
Yeah, she's like it's like Faulkner. It's like she's this like as I lay dying kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then Denise is like, I'm going to take this opportunity to right my wrongs. So
Erika goes, the conversation lulls, and then EJ goes, well, Denise, how does it feel to be back here in the group?
No, Dorit says that. She goes, Denise. Which I'm like, you little She goes, how does it feel? Did you miss us? Did you miss being part of something? And now that you're all alone out in Malibu? And she goes, I did miss you guys. She goes, except I have something to say to you. And she points and Erika goes, what?
What is it?
What is it? She goes, I want to know when we first met, you were so kind and so sweet to me. And then what happened? You started attacking me.
I was like, I don't remember that.
Well, okay, I did remember EJ kissed her ass so hard in the beginning because she was who she was.
Yeah.
But then I do think it was like maybe in tandem with like Rinna. I think she was like in her head, Rinna wasn't there, so like Erika's the closest thing to Rinna, and Rinna really went for Denise.
Oh yeah.
So I think maybe she was like
Rinna just torched their friendship.
And I think that's what she meant. I understood. And then when everyone was kind of like, Denise, what are you talking about? No one came and I'm like, you guys are gaslighting her a little because you all were like, you and Teddy Mellencamp, you were all banging the lesbian drum with Denise and like terrorizing her over her like sex life. They were. And they were, so like the fact that everyone's sitting at the table being like, Denise, what are you talking about? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, try to tell us what you mean. I was like, wait, guys, do we not forget that the reason that she's not on the show anymore is because you ran her out of town with pitchforks for like scissoring Brandy?
Yeah, but I don't think that EJ particularly did that.
No, but I think she sees EJ as like Rinna because of how close they are. I think Erika loves to like absolve herself and like never takes blame for anything. So I think she played it really dumb. She could have maybe been like, this woman is absolutely blottoed and she's trying to say I was associated with someone and I didn't stop her. That's what I saw it as, like Denise being like, I thought we were cool, and then you didn't stop your friend from like taking me down.
Yeah.
Why? What's the deal with that? I thought we were friends. I think that's what but she was so drunk she couldn't articulate it, and then everyone else kind of like chimed in a little because it was kind of fun to gaslight her. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even put that together. I was just like, God, this drunk lady's just got an idea and then is running with it.
No, I think it was partly that, but I think there was something that she was trying to articulate and she just couldn't because she was so drunk. But I think she was trying to say like, where were all of you when I needed friends during my like Scarlet Letter moment?
But then she was also like lying about thing. And then later in the episode, she blames it on Erika talking about like she brings it back to that weird
bullshit.
thing.
That was bullshit.
And so then I was like, okay, like this is not.
I think
it's just, I love seeing her on the show because she's so not meant to be in this world at all.
She is.
But she is by way of
fame.
Well, no, she isn't meant to be in this world because
she's an actress.
Yeah, and she also just like does not have the like chops for navigating the rules of reality television. Like she exists in kind of like rules of Hollywood where you do things and people don't like really question them, or you can like brush them under the rug or like manipulate people or whatever to like not have your dirty laundry aired. And then on a show like this, it's like, no, all your dirty laundry is going to get aired and like there are no alliances. Yeah. And so, but then she is essential to a show like this because of her inability to like understand how to play the game.
Sutton lights up a joint suddenly. A junt. And Denise goes, whoa.
But I love Erika going, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain? And she goes, watch the show. Watch the show. You rewind it and watch the show. And then you come back and talk to me and tell me. I was like, lady.
She's like an old village drunk.
Yeah. But it just like gets a bone to pick and then thinks it's a good idea in the moment. Like, I think that she thinks that there is something wrong and that she needs to like confront Erika about, but then it was just like, I'm so drunk that I just thought this and I actually like don't know where that thought came from.
And she's out of her depth with Erika.
Well, she's out of her depth with everyone because she's not ever going to be honest.
No.
Like, she came with rules in her own head that's like, I'm not going to talk about me and Brandy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to talk about me and Aaron.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to talk about sex in front of my kids. And those are like just rules that she made up, but that don't like fit the narrative of the show.
Yeah. And I was also like, honey, too late.
I know. I'm like, babe, like
their dad is.
That's okay, but the father of your children is Charles Sheen. So, I think that they know about sex.
They know
I think
a thing or
hearing
two.
EJ go, there's 2 vaginas and 1 dick at like a backyard dinner party, it's not that big of a deal. So just her freaking out about that kind of stuff is like, it's only going to work. Like, you really can only come for someone if you are willing to have nothing to hide.
Denise also tells Dorit that Sutton is a dumb C word. She goes, she's a dumb cunt. And then Dorit goes, Denise, I think your coat's on upside down. Because it's fully on upside down.
Oh, so well, Denise leaves the table then.
Yeah.
And is like, and like gets up, and then that's when she puts her little coat on upside down, and then Dorit tries to like kindly assist her with it, and she goes, I know exactly what you're doing, stop it.
She goes, is your coat on upside down? And Dorit goes,
Dorit going, no, I don't think it is.
And she goes, don't do this, don't do this. And she goes, do what? I just want you to put. And she goes, stop it. And then Kyle is like, let's get you in a matte black Escalade.
Let's put you in a car and send you on home.
Go back to Malibu with big pharma enemy number 1. With Dirty John.
But I do love Denise coming out of the woodwork, and I hope that she continues to be in the fold.
She should be a good friend of. She can.
But the thing about Beverly Hills too is like they rarely actually say what they mean when they confront each other.
More than any show.
More than any other show, and that's what makes it so frustrating. It's like any other show would be like, you're separated from your husband, you're not wearing your ring, and everyone says that you're a lesbian now. Like, what's the deal? And then they go, something's just off. I don't know what it is. And like Denise is like, we used to be cool, but then we're not. And it's like no one can actually say exactly what they mean.
Don't do this. Not like this.
No.
Remember The Matrix when the blonde woman with the platinum hair is about to get killed and she goes, not like this? They unplug her and then she dies. Switch or whatever.
I don't remember. Is it the first one?
Yeah. Anyway.
I need to remember.
Dorit tells Kyle that Sutton told her that she's said that Kyle is in denial. And Kyle immediately turns around and goes, oh, Sutton, now you're saying I'm in denial?
You can't come for sober Kyle.
And she goes, I just want to know what's going on in your household.
She goes, what do you care about my household?
She goes, what are you talking about, my household? And then she goes, and by the way, Kyle, my esophageal disorder is nothing to make fun of.
Her and her like thin esophagus valor. She goes, Kyle, you've already broken ties with 2 of your sisters and lost them. Do you really want to lose a third?
That was so mean.
Yeah, I was like, you're a for that.
And then Erika kind of swoops in because she's like, Sutton is basically, she's forged a friendship with Kathy in the midst of all this, and she kind of let Kathy railroad Kyle like at the reunion, didn't like intervene even though she knew what had happened. And Erika says that like all the women go silent at the mention of Kathy because Kathy gatekeeps Beverly Hills. And she really is like, she's not just delusional, like she kind of is the grande dame of like Hollywood in a lot of ways. Like her part, you know, we were just talking about it.
So you're either in or you're out with Kathy. And then Sutton says, well, yeah, I mean, Kathy did call me after the last reunion.
I bet
and
she did.
screamed at me for a long time. And then I understood exactly what Kyle goes through all the time.
But now she wants to be like...
But no, she wants to go to the parties, so she'll play nice.
But Erika she's so not Team Kathy, which I respect.
I was like, you're a real one for this. She goes, I've always been an outsider, and I don't give a so it's fine.
And she goes in and she sits with Kyle, and I did feel like that moment was genuine. I didn't think it was just Erika like...
See, this makes me miss Rinna so much because I needed like the Rinna EJ Global Alliance going,
Erika,
Denise, what? Like, do you understand how much Rinna would have just pushed Denise's buttons in this?
What's going on over there, Denise?
And also talking about addiction and drinking, Rinna would have a lot to say about that. Why? I'm so angry at everyone that turned on her.
Also, Erika, we cut to her saying what Kathy said in Aspen. She goes, she called the DJ an old faggot. And Kathy, no.
I never in my life
Everyone who knows me knows I would never use that line. And then she goes, yeah, you said it. And I'm like, I believe you forever.
Oh, I 100%.
I will always believe Erika that she called the DJ in Aspen a dirty old faggot.
100. There's no question in my mind. There never has been about the Aspen story.
Yeah.
Never once did I think that they were lying.
Kathy's a monstrous person. Sorry.
If
Kathy, invite me to your party.
I think if Kathy does not get her way, there will be hell to pay.
But I would love to go to one of her parties.
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, I'd go.
Then we cut to be continued. Or no, this was in the second episode.
Yeah, Kyle's like, I need everyone to leave. And then she kind of ushers everyone out and then like sadly clops her little platform Silva
Calls
heels.
Morgan.
FaceTimes Morgan.
Fingers.
And they just kind of like furiously rub their clits together on FaceTime.
God, that's what I'm like, this...
That's good for her.
Good for her. Like, she's sober. She wants to go to bed. And like, there is nothing that makes more sense than if you don't wake up hungover, your life is infinitely better. Like, I just don't, what don't you understand?
No, it's amazing. I'm also like, so Sutton says that she doesn't want any THC on her food, but then she takes the opportunity.
That was jarring.
That really was.
I love. God damn.
Someone goes, inside?
She goes, it's perfectly legal.
I checked. It's very legal.
And then I was also like, damn, if I was about to have like a custody child support, I'd be like,
I would not be smoking.
I'd be like, honey, clamp it down. Save it for your gay assistant. Not to be like...
Sutton's also... But she's giving this season.
Oh, I think her presence is necessary. She's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
She's wild. She's unpredictable. She's hilarious at times. She has glamour.
We're getting like lots of horse content. And like we got a great like Jennifer Tilly moment.
She has a skinny esophagus. We're into it. I'm just saying she's also like deeply unwell.
Oh, 100.
Dorit. We cut to Casa Kemsley. Is that how you say Dorit Kemsley? Mm-hmm. She's with her little kitties, and Phoenix is in like a Wednesday Addams phase, and she has a fake thing, like the hand, which I was like, okay, I like this.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to happy, sober, muscled out Kyle leaving the house to go on a little run.
She's running. She's Sarah Connor. She's running through Encino over to Anne-Marie's house. And her confessional look was positively Kris Jenner. Mm-hmm. The pilgrim collar, the sheer. I was obsessed with it.
unfortunately, the pickleball pandemic continues.
Yeah, I'm not. Kyle goes, God, this is my favorite workout.
And she and Annemarie play pickleball while Denise, Crystal, Garcelle, and Sutton go to lunch somewhere.
Lara and I, we were
deeply unsafe.
I felt
I can
really
only assume that it's in like a corner of the valley I do not wish to ever encounter.
It was like a sports bar.
It was also very close to like Hallmark Media offices.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Where is it?
It's like on Ventura, I think.
Is it in Studio City?
Yeah, I think so. Correct me if I'm
like,
wrong.
I love the valley.
Me too.
But there are certain parts of it where you're like, God, this is so ugly. Like, get me out of here. And this was one of those parts.
Well, I think it was. They probably were like, God damn it, Denise is coming. We need more room to film. And they're like, we need, because we have an extra person now, so we got to find this sports bar on Ventura Boulevard. It was bizarre.
It was a weird choice.
But Annemarie also talks about her childhood. She's been gymming it up since middle school.
Yeah.
She's like, I used to go to school in the morning in high school at like 6 a.m. and just work out.
Do squats.
I was like, God.
I love it that someone, what is it, at the dinner, they're like, who asked how much everyone weighs at dinner?
No, she just volunteered that info.
Oh, no, because someone was asking a lot of questions. They were like, oh, so you're new. Like, where are you from? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? And she was like 5'9", 160. And I was like, holy she's like jacked.
Pure muscle.
All muscle.
Yeah. I like her.
Me too.
I like her and Kyle's friendship. I think they're like, I like it. And Annemarie was sort of trying to defend Kyle at dinner, which she like wasn't afraid to be like, what the is going on
She knows where her bread is buttered.
Yeah.
So she and Kyle have a laugh about Sutton's teensy little esophagus. Mm-hmm. And Annemarie is basically like, I've never heard of like a small esophagus. Like,
she's like, I do this every day when I put people to sleep. I basically shove an air tube down their
gullets.
And she goes, this is my bread and butter. And I don't know what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sutton's teeny esophagus should be like a cartoon.
It should be. It's like Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. I'm just a bill.
Dorit and PK have a argument about homeschooling their kids for the rest of their lives.
But back at the pub at the sports bar, Garcelle jokes that Sutton's gonna have to have her foot amputated.
She goes, I was reading about neuropathy. Oh, because that's something that Kyle brought up too, which is like, I don't know if it's like she's taking her little leg pills and then drinking on them or whatever, and which is another such pills. A Kyle dig.
Not even her leg pills, her little foot pills.
Her foot pills, and then having too much to drink or what. And then Garcelle took to Wikipedia to look up neuropathy, and she goes, I was reading about it, and it said online that some people's get so bad they have to have amputations. And
then I was imagining,
why are you telling her this?
I know, don't tell Sutton this, she'll like do it. Yeah, so PK and Dorit are talking about homeschooling the kids because it makes Dorit feel safer that they're always in the house because of the home invasion.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, and PK's like, no, I want them to be around other kids and socialize. It's important for me.
And then Dorit's like, well, he's never around. So then he likes to come around and say what he thinks is right. But really, I'm the one that's here all the time. When I first saw the scene, I was like, let the kids be homeschooled to the gods. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, can they even afford like homeschool for the entirety of their like...
It's weird. I'm not a parent. But I obviously, but put the kids in school.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Homeschooled kids are weird. Sorry, everyone knows it. You even know it. If you were homeschooled, you're like, I'm weird. That's just like
your kid can be weird, but at least around other kids.
Yeah.
Which is good. Sorry.
It's good to just I'm
going to get some DMs saying, rotten hell.
Send them.
Send them.
Send them. Send them.
Send them.
Send them.
Send me straight to hell.
Send them.
Rotten hell.
Rotten hell.
I miss her.
I know.
I gotta be quite honest with you. So I wrote Eric,
Eric goes to Rocco's with Mickey.
Lance Bass's bar, which I need to just say one more time.
You cannot mention Rocco's on
Lara,
Sex Unique Pop without Carey. Go ahead.
No,
name
I'm
him.
not going to.
No, name him.
Lance Bass, I'll just never forget seeing snipers on the roof of Rocco's WeHo while I was at a BLM protest. It's pretty wild. Mm-hmm. Just the National Guard up on Rocco's WeHo while a bunch of gays are just like in the bar.
Yeah.
Craziest thing I've ever seen.
So EJ and Mikey have a business meeting, a business dinner at Rocco's.
She goes, God, I want to get back in the scene. She goes, I only feel present when I'm performing.
I'm only present. I only know what's going on if I'm on stage.
And the producer goes, you're only present when you're performing.
Truly is.
And during sex.
Sex, but good sex, not bad sex.
She goes, and I love Vegas. She goes, I've always wanted to live there at some point. When I was 10 years old, I thought, what is this place? What is this sin city that's always open with seafood and surf and turf?
Lobster tails, crab legs, showgirls, gambling. I love it. I was like, Jesus Christ, lady. If you get the itch for Vegas, though, like
10?
Some people have that Vegas itch and it just is like really does it for them. I'd say with love and light, go to Vegas.
Not to live there, but I've had my 48-hour Vegas itch.
Yeah, I've just never been like, I've always been like, what is this place? Like, it's kind of cool, but I've never been like glamored by it.
I mean, if doing what you do as a tourist, it gets a little depressing after 2 days.
Yeah, I would say after 2 hours.
She goes, but I need... So they're going to do it...
My name in lights.
Lightly offered. She's being teased with a potential residency.
Yeah, and she's like, let's get back out there. There's nothing like planning a show, mounting a show. And Mikey goes, mounting a show. And she goes, mounting a show.
She goes,
I'm a showman at the end of the day. I'm a hunter. I like to hunt big game. And I don't want to hunt a warthog. I want to hunt an elephant.
And she goes, and I'm not actually hunting elephants for everyone out there.
I love that analogy.
And then she has a 5 olive martini. I was like, she goes, this salt's going to be the end of me.
Yeah, I was like, you're telling me. I was like, sister. I'm bloated by by proxy seeing you. I literally was like, my health is at risk watching you take down this sodium-laced 5 olives. I was like, this is a classic Rocco's move to put 5 massive pimento olives on top of a martini. My God. That was me. I could not. I was like, you guys get out of here.
Cheers to the showmans of the world.
Cheers to the She's like Jack Kerouac. She is. People shine like bright fireworks across the sky. You know that like quote?
Yeah, Lara, that was my fucking yearbook quote.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. Talk about gay.
That's truly addiction.
That was literally...
That's truly like you're gonna be an addict someday.
No, I know. I was like literally thinking, what quote should I use? And I wish I had followed my heart and done like a quote from the movie Contact. Yeah. But instead I did...
You told on your damn self.
The only people for me...
No.
How embarrassing. What was I was trying to prove something.
I mean... That quote had it had a huge impact on me too.
I think it was a quote that I'd seen many people use as their senior yearbook quote. So I was kind of following a trend. I've seen that quote used before.
Oh yeah, I mean,
no, but like it's like a teen thing because you read it during like junior year.
You read it when you're in your mother god crossfaded like phase, and then you're like, yeah.
The only people
for me are the showmen, the hunters,
the ones that are mad to live,
the ones that aren't afraid to kill, not warthogs but elephants, and they fly and mount the show.
The only ones who are the ones who aren't afraid to mount the show.
I gotta find the quote.
Oh God, it's so cringe.
It's so awful.
It's horrific, and I shudder that every.
I'm so sad that you use that quote.
I wanted to use Jodie Foster saying they should have sent a poet.
I'm really sad. Well, you live and you learn.
You live, you learn.
I'm trying to remember.
It is like a future addict quote.
It is you have like a huge drug problem coming, or you're currently going through it. If you're actively putting that quote out into the world as like representative of your vibe.
Wasn't my vibe at all. That's the thing.
That really isn't your vibe.
It's not my vibe at all. Like truly was.
That's
not,
also why
I was hanging out with
shocking.
guys that were like into like Dispatch and like Sublime and like, and I didn't like any. I'm sorry, I didn't like that music. I was like, oh,
I didn't like that music. Oh, Dispatch.
no.
The only people for me are the. I'm gonna do the EJ version.
The only people for me.
The only people for me are the showmen, the ones who are ready to mount the shows, ready to.
The only people for me.
The ones who are mad for shows, the ones who want to mount the shows, hunt big game, desirous of everything at the same time, the ones who never yawn or saw commonplace things, but mount like a fabulous showman.
Sparks across the
Burn
sky.
across the stage in Vegas with crab legs and lobster galore.
It's literally a quote about people like the worst kind
The
of
only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live. Mad to live.
Imagine me?
I'm dying.
Like what was I?
love you going.
It was literally
They
the
go
worst.
fill it out and you go.
I was literally like, this is a lie. As soon as I wrote it, I went, I'm a liar. Like I mean, yeah, it was the book. Like it was fun to read at the time, but like if you think about it, he's talking about the worst people you know. He's talking about like
He's talking about literally the Mother God
he's
members.
talking about people that like that crash in your house and won't leave.
Yeah. The only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be safe. This is literally Mother God's entire coven. Desirous of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or saw a commonplace thing, but burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles exploding like spiders across the stars. Cue Mother God going, I know, tell me about it.
It's like, oh, it's so bad.
It's awful.
Also, Jack Kerouac was an awful person who like beat his wife. Like he was a
big old drunk.
He was a big old drunk who was like repressed and like semi-closeted and hated women. But here I am quoting his ass.
I love graduating. The only ones
for me are the mad ones.
Swim Team O'Donnell.
Swim team captain.
Swim team captain. A good boy. A good high school boy.
I was a good boy.
You were a good boy.
But
going, the only ones for me. You know, there's something about me that no one knows. The only ones for me are the mad
I
ones.
was me. God.
Wait, I watched The Family Stone last night, which is always a fun revisit.
So Sarah Jessica Parker,
But
iconic.
I truly realized that like you are Sarah Jessica Parker. Like the things that you do and like your style of performance is literally Sarah Jessica Parker in The Family Stone.
When she goes, my favorite, she's a genius comedic actor. Like I can only dream to be as funny as her. Like she's so funny. But there's a moment.
No, but
where
it's not even the funny parts that she does, but it's like the little like.
But there's a part when she goes, Claire Danes goes, when she thinks she Luke Wilson, she goes, you didn't. And then she goes, I'm so ashamed.
That was like, you. I literally was laughing.
But I'm like, that's Sarah Jessica I know and want more of. I didn't know. I love that. I didn't know. They're so mean to her in that.
They're so cruel.
They're a clan. They're
that
awful.
movie is like not that good either.
Oh,
like
I love it.
I mean, I love it, but it has like a lot of kind of like a whole like you're just like supposed to believe that these two brothers, they didn't do the work that needed to be done to have this ultimate payoff of like why these brothers love these other girls and swap. Like it doesn't, when you watch it 4 to 5 times, you then as a lover of the movie desire that to be the outcome. But I remember being like, wait, what? Like the first time I watched it, I was like, that's weird.
And I wanted to come in and be like, she's doing her best.
She's trying.
Speaking of dysfunctional families, Dorit and Kyle head to Coldwater Canyon for a nice hike. And then they're talking about the dinner, and Dorit goes, it was a low blow, what Sutton said. And all of a sudden you hear, did someone say low blow? I heard the words low blow.
Lo and behold,
Kim Richards comes waltzing out of the ether.
I truly believe it's the first time she's ever left the house since COVID started.
Yeah, Kyle's like, Kim had a really hard time during the pandemic. She didn't really leave the house, and we were all really worried about her. But she's really been getting out, socializing. Kim goes, all the thing I'm focused on now are my grandbabies and coloring.
She goes, I didn't leave the house, but then I found coloring, and then now I have my murals, and then it shows this gorgeous montage of like hand painted murals.
It's like
and
Henry Darger shit.
Kim has been painting the walls at her house, which most people you would be like, to the asylum you go, but with Kim you're like, this is good.
It's outsider art. It's true, incredible. She's mad ones.
But if you're Carey, you go, looks like you're one of the mad ones.
Looks like you're a Roman candle. Burning.
God, you've seen so much, nothing
It's
commonplace,
so
never a yarn. You burn like a Roman
Kyle's
candle.
like, as long as she's not drinking the
Yeah, as long as she's not on pills, dating like a saurus.
as long as she's finger painting on the walls, like, please keep that. And she seems really genuinely happy.
Yeah,
she seems sober. Like, she feels like she's a little kooky, but that's just who she is. But
I love kooky Kim.
I think she's fully sober. I do believe that. And I think she and Kyle have like reached some equilibrium.
They seem good with each other.
She's being nurturing of Kyle, which is like really rare to see Kim being like remembering that she's a sister, because usually she treats Kyle like
and she says she really wants Kyle and Kathy to make up. Life's too short to be fighting, and they
Kyle
just
hasn't met Phoenix. Paris is...
That makes me sad.
Because Paris and her were close, I think.
Yeah, and she just says like when she and Kathy are on the outs, she's cut off from like that entire side of the family.
And it's... Kyle's daughters are sweet. She's like, are you going to go see Paris? And she's like, if you're not
They
invited,
ride for her.
They ride for their
queen.
mama. And Kyle's like... Or Kim goes, I'm going to get emotional. I just want you guys. I just want you to make up. I think you both did things you didn't mean to do, and you both hurt each other. But I think you can come to terms. You can make up for it.
You just have to not be on shows together.
Yeah.
You just have to let Kyle be on a show, and you guys can't be on the same show. Or you could have your own shows, and then maybe someone comes on as a guest. But like, you cannot like work together.
I do miss seeing Kyle and Kim together when they're good. There's nothing better than the two.
I mean,
of
I
them
would love
slaying.
I would love nothing more than all three of them to be on a show together, but like that would be detrimental for their relationship with each other.
Yeah. I remember when Lisa Vanderpump was on Dancing with the Stars and Kyle and Kim were watching and they were making fun of her and like imitating her dance moves, and it was really funny.
I love it when Kim makes Kyle laugh. Like,
yeah,
that's the best.
Because no one makes Kyle laugh like that, I don't think. It's like no one makes you laugh like your siblings.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
Here's the mad ones.
Here's some mad ones. Let's read the mad ones who are our cult members.
These are the mad ones.
You are the mad ones. The mad ones who are mad to live.
Mad to live, mad to breathe.
I own it. That's where I was at.
I love that. I can't even remember what my yearbook quote was. I'm sure it was something cringe. But my school shut down before they published our yearbooks.
Yours said, help me.
They literally were like, submit all the photos that you want in like a collage, and like you had to submit them. Like you had to make your collage yourself.
You had to do the work.
And then like give it to them, and then they would publish it in like the annual yearbook. But they just took it, and then the school shut down. They never sent it back. So we just lost those baby photos and like any semblance of like high school graduation or that period of time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Well.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Read it loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
The only ones for me.
The mad ones.
Ooh, the mad ones.
The mad ones. Bad to burn, 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 like the candles.
Like a candle in the wind.
Like a candle in the wind.
That kills me. You trying to sell yourself as one of the mad ones.
A mad one? In my dreams. I'm glad I'm not one of the mad ones.
Yeah.
I'd be
That's like the
crunchies.
only ones for me are fellow addicts, drug addicts, unstable people.
Who never yawn, and always
mentally
burn,
ill,
burn. Yeah.
meth heads.
Mentally ill meth heads
who never yawn.
Who can't stop driving. Who just get in their car and just can't stop because they're on meth. That's what the context
The
is.
only ones
they're
for
all
me
on speed.
are the astronaut lady
Literally,
in a diaper driving furiously across the United States.
We were reading this and he's like, we did 3 trips that summer back and forth, and everyone was like, God, they drove so much, and it's because they were on meth.
On speed.
They're on speed.
On Roxy's.
And they're on moon rock.
Little red pills. Sarah Elizabeth. Lucy from London. Mad one. Brooke Johansson.
Mad one.
Mad one.
Mad, just burning.
Brittany Ryan Weiss.
Mad one.
Mad as hell.
Mad.
Danielle McMillan.
Mad one.
Roman Candle. Lady Swanbridge gives no
the most
mad
one of them all. The biggest burning candle in the bowl.
Lazara. She's never yawned.
She's never yawned. She's never stopped. She keeps going. Molotov. That mad one that's on top of my
classic
She's
mad
a Molotov. That one.
She's ready to explode across the sky.
burn like a Roman candle.
Like a fabulous yellow Roman candle. She burns Mary. Oh, so mad. Mad as hell. Exploding like spiders across the fucking sky.
Across the sky.
The only people for me are people like Eliza Twaddle. Maisie McGarney. Desirous of everything at the same time.
Never yawning.
Mike Earhart.
Of course.
Of classic mad one. Mad to talk. And talk he does. Karaoke. Another talker. She's mad to be saved. Sharon Baum.
Realtor. The most mad realtor of all.
Oh, I've never known such a mad realtor.
She never stopped.
She never stopped selling.
Mad.
You know who's never seen a commonplace thing in her goddamn life? Courtney Kesselman. How could we forget Owsley?
Owsley, the maddest of owls.
The maddest of all. He burn. Rochelle Martino.
The mad.
Oh, the mad Kathy West.
The mad Kathy West, the burning Roman fabulous.
Oh, Mariah Carey,
of course.
Exploding like a spider across the sky. Kit Moore, my God, she's the only one for me. She's mad to talk, mad to live, mad to be saved. Hillary. Oh, don't even say her name. She's so mad.
Say not. Move fast.
Nothing like a mad woman named Hillary. Orlando,
of course. The maddest Orlando I've ever did know.
The maddest that's on your mind, Nick Sedaris.
He
runs through that mind of yours.
He runs laps around my mind.
Emily. Kim Lucas. And of course, the maddest of all.
Jeffrey Prada. Jeffrey Prada mad.
Jeffrey Madama.
These mad ones. Pradama. Jeffrey Roman Candle Pradama.
That's what all his friends call him.
Cult members.
Guys.
You are all the mad ones.
You are the mad ones. We appreciate you.
Let us know about your cringe yearbook quotes.
Yeah, I need them. We need to submit those in the Patreon comments.
Let's create a combo.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Radical honesty. I was honest. Follow suit.
And with that, we bid you farewell.
Bye-bye.
Bye.